Hey, welcome back to the garage. It's the Garage Guy, episode 3 here, following a Dallas Mavericks win over the San Antonio Spurs. I'm going to get right into it. Okay, halftime, Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal just killed Kristaps Porzingis. But let me just be the voice of reason here and say, pump the brakes, guys. Let's also keep in mind that Porzingis just sat out 20 months due to a torn ACL. That's damn near 2 entire years sitting out of NBA ball. You really expect this dude to come back and be a superstar in a new system, in a new city, in a new role where he's not the number one guy on a shitty New York Knicks team? Come on, man, relax. Let's also keep in mind that at the beginning of the season, the Dallas Mavericks weren't picked to do shit. Okay? They weren't supposed to be a playoff team. This year was supposed to be the year that KP and Luka had to get it together to build toward the future so we can know what they were going to be in the future. They're a year ahead of schedule. Okay? They're ready to write off KP. They're ready to call it a day. But guess what? KP, the Mavericks, this is brunch. Okay, the day ain't even over. It's barely even getting started. We're having mimosas right now, man. All right? They're ready to write him off saying that he's underachieving. He's not worth his contract. Guess what? This was supposed to be the year that he and Luka had to get it together. Okay? And guess what? This is a team that's 20-10. This is a team that in the last 2 seasons have won a combined 18 road games. They've run 9 games each of the past 2 years. They've already won 10 this season. This team is 10 games above 500 following Christmas. This team is overachieving. So let's pump the brakes on all the criticism against Kristaps because in reality, Shaq, Charles Barkley, they want Porzingis to be a back to the basket kind of player, a player that Dirk was. But guess what? The game has changed since Dirk's played. And don't get me wrong, Dirk is my dude. But the game's different. The game is about spacing the floor and playing behind that three-point line. Imagine if KP played in the paint. With the kind of player that Luka is, where he can beat his defender off the dribble and get to the lane. If KP was in the paint, that would provide a second defender to step over and help on Luka. Now, keep in mind how their offense is set up right now. KP is spacing the floor, playing behind the three-point line. His defender is around the key, nowhere near the paint. So Luka can take his defender off the paint, off the dribble, get to the paint with ease, get to the rim, dunk it, lay it in, high efficient, high percentage shot, or get to the free throw line. Or guess what? If another defender does close in on him for the double team, he kicks it out. And that's why it's so much fun watching these Mavericks play because they have so many shooters. KP provides that spacing that the Mavericks need. A good second piece next to Luka. Do I want him to hit a higher percentage of his shots? Of course. However, I'm realistic about this. Dude's been out of the game for 20 months. I'm going to give him a little bit more time to figure things out. Now, let's talk about the game tonight. Spurs did some Spurs things. They haven't been winning this season, but they stayed in the ball game. And that's what you can expect from a Coach Popovich coach team. That's just how it's going to be. Now, the difference between the Mavericks and the Mavericks space the floor. Luke can get to the rim whenever he wants, and he can kick it out for three-point shooting. But when you look at the Spurs key players, LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan, what they do really well is the mid-range game. Now, at a certain point in the third quarter where the Mavericks started to spread the lead, really the Spurs were exchanging twos for threes. Where the Mavs were hitting the three-point shot, Spurs were hitting twos. That's where the Mavericks were able to extend their lead. And that's where the game is played this year, or these days. You know, you got to hit your three-point shot. And that was so much fun watching the Mavs tonight because everybody was hitting their threes tonight. Maxi Kleber was hitting his shots. You had Dorian Finney-Smith hitting his shots. Tim Hardaway Jr. hitting his shots. Luka, KP got in on the action. It was fun to watch. It was fun to watch this team play because they play with such great chemistry. They enjoy playing with each other on the court, and they enjoy being with each other off the court. You could just see it in their action. I follow them on Snapchats and Instagram and all this stuff, and you could just see all the videos that they posted one another and pictures they posted one another. They genuinely like being with one another. And when you like being around guys, your play on the court is going to also be a little bit more efficient, and it's going to be easier to see. So it's fun to watch because these guys are playing with a certain swagger this season. You know, when you see Seth Curry throwing behind the back passes down low to Luka Doncic running the baseline, he's throwing down a dunk and smiling in midair before he can even dunk the ball. He's just so excited that his teammates have this ability to get him involved in the offense. You know, when KP was struggling in the game and then he started hitting threes, they showed the camera on Luka, and Luka is smiling. He couldn't be happier for the guy. And then you got Maxi Kleber, product of Wurzburg, Germany, hitting threes, and then making a call from long distance as he's running down the court. It's so much fun to watch these guys play. Another shout out, DeLon Wright. I like watching this dude play because he plays the passing lanes on defense so well. He gets a lot of steals, quick hands. And then in the second quarter, where the Spurs were kind of making a spurt, had energy and momentum going their way, he righted the ship when Luka was on the bench at the beginning of the second quarter. And he had about 3 consecutive possessions where he drove the ball into the paint and was putting players in the spin cycle, hitting finger rolls. It was just fun to watch because this Mavericks team, their bench is spectacular. They play with such emotion and passionate energy. It's just fun to watch them. You know, this is a team that it's starting to build confidence in one another. And you started to see it even when Luka was out of the lineup the last 5 games. You know, KP started to be a little bit more aggressive. You saw this team play with that energy that they believed in one another. Whether anybody else believed them or not, they bought into the system. They bought into the fact that they knew they had a chance to win. And it was fun to watch. I mean, you look over the last 5 games without Luka. Went on the road, snapped the Milwaukee Bucks 18-game winning streak, went on the road, beat the Sixers without Luka. At the time, the Sixers had only lost 1 home game. You know, they were in a couple other games that they blew. Of course, we know the Raptors game. We don't have to talk about all that. But anyway, you know, this is a team that without Luka in the lineup, they stayed afloat. Now, with Luka, they're a whole different beast. And just wait until KP and Luka get 100% on the same page. This is going to be a team to be reckoned with, not only this year, but for years to come, because this team is just going to build one another and build and build and build. And I'm along for the ride. You know, I'm not going to get into too much more depth. I'm already 8 minutes into this, so I don't want to bore y'all to death or anything. We got another game coming up here in a couple of days. But let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you think about the Mavericks this year. Let me know about what your squad thinks about the Mavs. Is Shaq right? Is anybody else scared of the Mavericks? Is everybody just going to roll over them like he thinks they are in the playoffs? Personally, I don't think so. And if you do think your squad's just going to roll the Mavericks, all right, I hope we play y'all in the first round. That's okay. I'm not scared of anybody. Neither of the Mavericks. They're not scared of anybody in the first round either. So it's going to be fun to watch them the rest of the year. Let me know what you guys think about the video. If I need to change something up, let me know. I know I've had 3 different videos at 3 different angles in my garage, but I just want y'all to see the swag that I got up here. I got a lot of different things going on. But let me know what y'all think. You see my Mr. Potato Head. Yeah, he's a Mavs fan. But I'll get at y'all later next game. Garage Guy, episode 3. Hope y'all enjoy. Let me know what y'all think. All right. Talk to y'all later.